Radio check, radio check. Right, we should be live. Um, yeah, welcome back to the channel, guys. We have got the Chinese Grand Prix, a sprint weekend, of course. Lots of action to look forward to. And we are 15 minutes away from qualifying starting. So, yeah, just get ready. I'll run through what's happened in FP1. Of course, only one practice session this weekend, which gives the teams even less time to be prepared with all of their data and all of the different things. Yeah, Stroll was in first position in um, the FP1, which is quite surprising. Yeah, I mean, I think it's quite self-explanatory why that's surprising. But the thing that we have to keep in mind is that the teams have really gone for a split of things. Like, I think Aston Martin, what they've done is Stroll is doing all of the quick runs and Alonso is doing all of the long runs, as you guys can see on the screen right now. Alonso in 19th position on the hard tyres. Alonso was just doing the long runs for the entirety of FP1, gathering all of that data that's going to be used in the races. And Stroll was gathering all the data that's going to be used in the qualifyings. With only one practice sessions, the team decided to split the driver's strategy, whereas some other teams, like Red Bull, like Haas, they've decided that that both drivers will do long runs and both drivers will do short runs, and that's why we've got a little bit of a mix-up in the FP1 sessions. But you know, it should be back to fairly standard running when we get to the race itself. And the qualifying, of course, as well. You know, we're not going to be expecting Lance Stroll to be up there on pole position. And if Lance Stroll is up there on pole position, it will not be, you know, I'm sure Fernando Alonso would probably be ahead of him. So, yeah, not too much to worry about there. Just let me know if you guys can hear me. I'm getting warnings from YouTube saying that there's no audio, but yeah, just let me know if you guys can hear me. That would be helpful. We've got 120 viewers. Thank you everyone for tuning in. If you haven't hit the like button, be sure to do so. Yeah, let's get going for today's session. You can hear me. Nice. Thank you very much. Okay. Oh, another thing to note: we have Guan Yu Zhou's home Grand Prix. He is the first ever Chinese driver, and he is having his first ever home Grand Prix, which is great to see. And you know, look forward to what he can do. Maybe he can go quicker than Valtteri Bottas. Recently, those two drivers have been pretty close to each other. Admittedly, the Sauber car has not been that quick, but both drivers matching each other relatively well, and maybe Guan Yu Zhou can outqualify Bottas. Another thing to note, Daniel Ricciardo has been having a series of bad weekends in succession. Really, not really. You know, he's been performing, but he hasn't been that quick, especially compared to Yuki Tsunoda, who is much quicker. In terms of qualifying pace and race pace for the past 3-4 races. This weekend, Daniel Ricciardo has got a brand new chassis, so that should hopefully help him out in terms of, well, just being quicker. And just looking at the FP1 lap times, he was slightly quicker than Tsunoda. You know, there's nothing significant there, but maybe that new chassis has helped out Daniel Ricciardo. And the thing is, with these chassis, that you can have minuscule cracks in places, like tiny cracks that can only be picked up by like ultrasonic sensors and stuff, and that can have an effect on your car. Like, it can flex the car in a way that it shouldn't be flexing, and they can barely pick it up, but it does have an effect. There was a story, like, I don't know how long ago it was, but there was a story where we had Kimi Raikkonen in Monaco told his team that there's a crack, and there's a crack in this part of the chassis. I can feel it while driving through the car. But then the team, you know, over the course of the weekend, they looked for it. They could not find anything, and they were like, "Kimi, I don't know what you're talking about here. The car's fine." And then they sent the car back to the factory, and they got the ultrasonic sensors out and scanned the car, and then lo and behold, that is exactly where the crack was, exactly where Kimi Raikkonen said it was. So drivers can feel these things, and they do have an effect on the performance of the car. So potentially a new chassis could help Daniel Ricciardo, get closer to Yuki Tsunoda. Maybe there was an issue with the original chassis that he did have, but well, only time will tell. We have qualifying coming up shortly for the sprint race. Yeah. Okie dokes. Yeah, 11 minutes till we get going for this sprint race. I'll run through what happened in FP1. Nothing too surprising, really. The team's just getting used to the new set. Used to getting back to this circuit. Some of the drivers haven't been here before. Oscar Piastri, Yuki Tsunoda, and there is one other driver, but I'm forgetting who now. And Logan Sargent that haven't raced at this circuit before. So they will be getting to grips with the circuit for the first time. Now, that's a little bit of a disadvantage to them, of course, because they did not have all of the time to prepare, whereas everyone else has obviously had a whole lot of time to prepare, and they've obviously been at this circuit before as well. So we'll wait and see. We will wait and see how these guys perform and if they can match their teammates at a circuit that they haven't driven at before. That's going to be pretty critical. But we'll just we'll wait and see. I thought quality is tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, my light counter is stuck at 10. Yeah, I forgot to update that. There we go. That should have fixed it. What was I going to say? Quali is tomorrow. Yeah, quali is tomorrow. This is sprint qualifying. I'm pretty sure on my stream it's called sprint quali. Yeah, pretty sure it says sprint quali, so it's fine. Yeah. Okay, good morning, F1 gamer. Hello, Max Semple. Nice to see that you're here. Yeah, hope you enjoy the coverage, mate. Seen you here a couple of times. Seem like a solid guy. All right. It is 8:21, and we have got 9 minutes now till we get underway for qualifying. Hopefully, we can see the Ferraris challenge Max Verstappen. We'll wait and see what happens. We really have no sort of short run data whatsoever, which should actually make it exciting. We've seen this in the past when the teams have less time to gather all of their data and all of this setup information, that it makes the races a lot more exciting. I think if you remember back to 2018, the race in Austin, the USA Grand Prix in 2018, there was rain for the first two practice sessions, so none of the teams gathered any sort of useful data. Then they just had FP3 qualifying in the race, and the race was significantly more exciting than the races were in 2018. So, it's looking good. But of course, sprint qualifying will have the usual sort of timing layout. It'll be, I think, what is it, 12 minutes, 10 minutes, and then 8 minutes between the three Q1, Q2, and 3 sessions. Yeah. Stroll could lose every race and still get a contract renewed as Dad owes the team. Yeah. See, I think that Stroll is actually quite a big disadvantage to the Aston Martin team. Now, of course, that's not a crazy opinion or anything. It's quite well known that Stroll isn't the best driver, and there could be another driver in his seat. Now, the thing to note here is that if Aston Martin, their aim is to, of course, become a championship winning team, they have the resources to do so. They're currently building a new factory, and they've already got another. Oh no, they're currently building a new wind tunnel, and their factory is already built. They've got a brand new factory, and their aim is for 2026 to be a championship contending team. Now, that's all well and good. You've got Fernando Alonso as a championship contending driver, but Lance Stroll as a number 2 driver, going to score those points that you would ideally, consistently want. Can Stroll do that? Can Stroll put up those performances? We don't really know. Like, Alonso, as of now, has scored nearly, I think, 90% of the points last year for Aston Martin, or like 80%. So it's really not that great. And Alonso this year as well has more than doubled these points total of Lance Stroll. So quite a big mismatch between those two drivers. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. Will Lance Stroll ever get kicked out? Will he be given an ultimatum by his dad? You've got to perform and you've got to stay within 2 positions of Fernando Alonso for the next 3 races, otherwise you lose your contract. Um, but I think that would be pretty harsh if your dad owned the teams and then he kicked you out as well. So we'll just have to wait and see and how that plays out. Who knows? Right. Um, 5 minutes now till qualifying gets underway. I'm going to take you through the circuit because the last time we were here was 2019, which was the 1000th Formula One race on the in Formula One history. The 1000th Grand Prix was the 2019 Chinese Grand Prix. And we're back here once again. So we've got the main straight. It's got DRS like all of the other, like most of the main straights. And then going into turn one, you've got a very different kind of corner here. It's extremely long, and it just keeps on going. And you get whole bunches of understeer as you go through one and you go towards two. There's just endless amounts of understeer. So the drivers really have to stay on it. There's quite a few different lines that you can take through there. We'll see what the drivers do. I remember back in 2019 when the drivers were here, there were different lines that the drivers took, and they came out to be approximately the same pace anyway. So we'll have to keep an eye out for if there are certain lines that maybe Verstappen and Leclerc are using that the other drivers aren't. And then you go through into turn number 2/3, which is a hairpin. It's a fairly low speed hairpin, and the drivers just have to make sure to get a good exit out of there. Turn 4 is flat because you're quite slow coming out of turn 3, so you can just hold it flat for turn number 4. Turn number 5 is just another kink in the road, which is flat. Turn number 6, a hairpin, a great overtaking opportunity in the races. And then on the exit of turn number 6, you go into turn number 7. That is, if you're racing side by side through turn number 7 and 8, it is absolutely sensational to watch as the drivers go through there. So high speed. And in fact, I haven't driven the Chinese Grand Prix on the F1 games for so long, but it is a really good circuit drive on, very difficult to master and get absolutely perfect. But you go through turn number 7. In fact, at turn number 7 today in FP1, a random piece of grass just set on fire. I don't know how. I didn't It was very unexpected. The marshals went and put it out, and we had a 5-minute red flag. But yeah, very strange. Just a random piece of grass at turn 7 set on fire. But yeah, through turn number 7, once you get towards turn number 8, you have to lift off the power a little bit, maybe downshift one gear as you go through turn number 8, and then break in a straight line for turn number 9, which is pretty tricky as turn number 8 is a very long high speed corner, so your tires are pretty loaded, your outside tires are pretty loaded, so getting straight onto the brakes is pretty tough for turn number 9. We might see a couple lockups there. Turn number 10, your main aim there is to just go as much throttle as possible, because without exceeding track limits, of course, because on the exit turn number 10, there is track limits. Exceeding that, you will get your lap time deleted. But turn number 10 is critical corner because the straight between turn number 10 and 11 quite long, and if you don't get a good exit out of turn number 10, then you'll be losing time for the entire duration of that straight. Then you break into turn number 11. That's once again a little bit of a hairpin corner. It kind of goes back on itself, and then you get turn number 12 and 13, very long corner. Coming on to the main straight, it's slightly banked as well, not as banked as Zandvoort, say. But there is a little bit of banking that sort of helps you along. And then you get through into turn number 13, just down the main straight. The drivers reach exceedingly high speeds here. I think 330 kilometers an hour going down the main straight. That's with the DRS activated, of course. And then slamming on the brakes for turn number 14. They brake at the 100-meter mark. And yeah, that's coming to the end of the 5.5 kilometers that this circuit is. There are 3 DRS zones on this circuit, in fact. Is there 3? Oh no, sorry, there's just 2 DRS zones, the main straight and the back straight. And then yeah, you just exit the hairpin as usual. You get to turn number 16 and tap the brakes and flick the car left, and hopefully you don't bin it on the final corner, like we've seen quite a few drivers do that. and then back onto the main circuit. All right, so that is the Chinese Grand Prix circuit. Quite a very very interesting circuit. It should be on the calendar much more often. It's much, I would say, much better than quite a lot of the street circuits that we do get around here. Well, around the F1 calendar. So yeah, good to see a good full size racetrack that the drivers will be racing on today. Yeah. Okie doke. So 1 minute 20 now till we get underway for Q1. It'll be technically called SQ1. And just give me a second. I'm going to load up all of the data. Okie dokie. So we have now got, we're now basically underway for the Grand Prix. Let's just get rid of this timer, and then bring this down a little bit. There we go. All right. All of the drivers are prepared. Green light at the end of the pit lane, and the drivers will be getting underway now out of the circuit. Everyone's sort of just sat in the garage. I'm not sure exactly why everyone sat in the garage, but they'll be out short. What am I even saying? Shortly enough, they will be out. Right. Who had Lance Stroll top session in 2024 on their bingo card? I don't think anyone did. Don't think anyone really expected it. But these are kind of unexpected things that you do get um, with these qualifying sessions. Right, so we've got a couple of drivers out onto the circuit now. We've got Albon, Sargent, Zhou, Hamilton, everyone getting their way out onto the circuit. Ooh. Yeah, the stream's just frozen. That the data will be back in approximately 20 seconds, guys. So just yeah, but I'll just carry on talking about what's going on in the session. Everyone just making their way out. Everyone, of course, on the medium tires because that is the rules mandated by the sprint qualifyings. So they say that you can only use the medium tires for Q1. I think it's the medium tires for Q2, and then the soft tires for Q3. So that's why everyone's out on the mediums, not because the medium tires are suddenly quicker here. The rules mandate so, and that's why. Right. Yeah. So we've got the usual. Well, not the usual suspects. Everyone's making their way out. Only 12 minutes to go and 20 drivers on the track. It's going to be quite a bit of drivers are going to have to watch out for traffic and make sure that they're looking in the mirrors to avoid being given a penalty by the FIA. Right. So first couple of drivers now starting their laps. We've got Sargent starting their lap, and then we've got Zhou and Bottas. But yeah, look at this. It's quite a long circuit, 5.5 kilometers. So the drivers are all quite spread out. and there's not that much issues with traffic because, of course, the circuit is very wide as well, and quite a lot of runoff as well. Is it raining? Yeah, we have got radio from Oscar Piastri saying some light drops of rain. So, good timing there, Robbie. And it is raining. Some light drops of rain. So the drivers will be getting out as soon as possible now, to set a lap, because the later they go, the more rain that's on the circuit and the slower the circuit is. So it is raining, and yeah, makes it all the more exciting. And I would love for the rain to come down a little bit more heavy, and by the time we get to Q3, we can have some inter running. That would be absolutely fantastic. Um, but we have got Guan Yu Zhou currently at his home Grand Prix here. Here we go, making his way down the back straight. Nicely done from him. He's doing a really good job at this circuit. Even setting a purple middle sector. Now, of course, the drivers behind him have taken away that middle sector very quickly, but Alex Albon, first driver across the line, a 1:38.0. Next driver is Logan Sargent, a 1:38.3. Now we've got the home driver, Guan Yu Zhou, a 1:37.9, a tenth quicker than Alex Albon. And then Valtteri Bottas goes half a second quicker than Guan Yu Zhou. Wow, that is a great lap indeed from Valtteri Bottas. And just one other thing to keep in mind here, it is Guan Yu Zhou's home Grand Prix, but he has really not raced here in quick cars for quite a long time. Whereas Valtteri Bottas, he is, well, actually, I don't think he's raced in cars as quick as Formula One at this circuit ever. So Valtteri Bottas has got a lot more experience than him at this circuit, and that's probably why he's half a second up. We've got Carlos Sainz crossing the line in third position. Charles Leclerc, a 1:36.8, goes 4/10 of a second quicker than Lewis Hamilton. And Carlos Sainz is nearly 1 second behind him. And all of that lap time was lost in the third sector and in the first sector. I don't know, Carlos Sainz probably made a couple of mistakes on that lap, but the main focus of right now is to get those laps in before the rain arrives, because if the rain arrives, you've got absolutely no chance. Yeah. All right, we've got 1,000 people tuned in. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Be sure to hit the like button. It really will help out. Hopefully, we can hit 500 likes. That'd be fantastic. Right. 6 minutes left of this session, and it is continuing to rain. We've got messages from George Russell being like, if it's raining more, please let me know. And we've got a couple more lap times coming in. Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri both in second and third position. 3/10 between them, and Norris ever so close to Charles Leclerc's lap time. That is great to see. And Fernando Alonso goes 3/10 ahead of Charles Leclerc. That is absolutely fantastic. Purple in the first sector as well from Fernando Alonso, a tenth quicker than Verstappen in the first sector. A really good lap from Fernando Alonso, who has, by the way, renewed his contract for Aston Martin and will be staying till at least 2026. Max Verstappen is across the line. He goes 4/10 quicker than the competition. I mean, there was no need to ruin this, Max, but yeah, second, third, and fourth place, all within I don't know how many milliseconds. It's about 10 milliseconds between second, third, and fourth, and now currently third, fourth, and fifth. Look at this, Sergio Perez 3/10 ahead of Max Verstappen. What is going on here today? Very exciting indeed. Max Verstappen losing out a significant chunk of time in the third sector compared to Sergio Perez. I think Perez might have been given a tow by someone. Because the entirety of the third sector is that back straight, and if you do get a tow, that is absolutely fantastic. I will have to, rewind it back and find out if Perez got a tow, but yeah, that straight is so long. If you can time up a tow, you are going to gain so much lap time for absolutely free. Yeah. It is raining, but it's only very, very light rain. There isn't that much rain going on. There isn't that much rain falling. So Yeah, that's why the driver's still on the medium tyres, as mandated by the rules. But of course, if it does rain, then the drivers are permitted to switch on to the intermediate tyres. That's pretty expected. Watching this in school, well, good to see you guys are paying attention in school. To be fair, I was also doing this in school. I would also watch F1 in school, so I can't really blame you. Um, yeah, just spitting, just a little bit of rain. Um, but I don't know if the track is going to get any quicker. That's one of the main concerns. If it is, if like track evolution will be key after only one practice session, the circuit will be getting significantly quicker every single lap a driver does, drives around. But will the rain counteract that track evolution, and will it make the track even worse? That is something to find out. And also, with this sort of new resurfacing that has been done on this circuit, rain could potentially mix stuff up and make the grip conditions even worse than if it hadn't been resurfaced and then it's raining. So resurfacing normally increases the grip, but then the resurfacing with the rain has gone and potentially reduces the grip far more than the teams and the drivers expect. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that. 2 minutes remain of this session, and everyone is out on the circuit, making their way to the end of the making their way to the start finish line. Right. And quite interesting, actually, the drivers have opted for a much higher downforce setup than normal. Usually, we see speeds of 330, 325 kilometers an hour down the back straight with the DRS zones activated. On this circuit, the drivers only reaching 314 kilometers an hour down the back straight. So drivers have opted for a little bit more downforce, and I think that comes with the fact that race conditions are going to be pretty key, and this circuit is quite harsh on the tires, especially with all of those high-speed corners in turn number 7, turn number 8, turn number 13, like lots of load going through the tires. So the teams have opted for slightly higher downforce, and that will end up reducing their tire wear, but of course slower down the straight. Carlos Sainz come over the radio saying Lewis Hamilton has impeded him and he should be given a penalty. And I think fair enough. Hamilton was on the inside line of the circuit, inside line of the corner. It was basically the apex of the corner where Carlos Sainz was trying to be, and he lost out. So Hamilton might have a penalty coming this way. We will have to wait and see. But with 1 minute left on the session, we have got Yuki Tsunoda, Carlos Sainz, quite a lot of drivers now starting their flying laps. Max Verstappen just in the pit lane. He is, he's not going out again, but yeah, quite a few drivers now starting their flying laps. Currently, the elimination zone: Alex Albon, George Russell, Esteban Ocon, Logan Sargent, and Yuki Tsunoda. Well, the biggest surprise here, of course, George Russell. I don't know what he's doing down in 17th position. Hamilton is up in 11th. The lap time gap between those two drivers, 9/10 of a second between Russell and Hamilton. So, Russell's going to have to put in a good lap now. He's currently going through the first sector. We'll wait and see what he can do. And the same for Yuki Tsunoda. Danny Rick up in 12th position. Yuki Tsunoda should be thereabouts, but he seems to be 5-6 seconds off the pace. I think he must have had a mistake on his previous lap, if I'm being honest. But yeah, we'll wait and see what happens. Okie dokes. So here they are making their way to the end of the circuit. We got Sargent crossing the line, 18th position, stays and it gets knocked out of Q1. Stroll and Alonso come into the pits. Oh no, Alonso's across the line, and he goes across the line with a slower lap than before. So the rain is coming down and it is impeding these drivers. It's making them slower. Alonso's previous lap was slower, so let's wait and see. Yuki comes across the line. He does not improve. 18th position only. He gets caught out by the rain. His first lap was a mistake, and then it started raining, and then we have got, and then he loses out. So We've got now George Russell across the line in 12th position. He has enough pace to make it through. Next up is Lewis Hamilton. He is also in 10th position. Then we've got Kevin Magnussen, who's currently in 14th. He comes across the line up into 9th. Good job from him. And Oscar Piastri, who's currently in 12th, is also across the line for 5th position. So the elimination zone is Gasly, Ocon, the two Alpines, the two Williams, Albon and Sargent, and then Yuki Tsunoda, the big surprise here, having a bit of a bad weekend, of course, after scoring points at his home Grand Prix not last weekend, 2 weekends ago. Yeah, unfortunate there for Yuki Tsunoda, getting caught out by the rain and unable to make it out of Q1. But that being said, Guan Yu Zhou now has made it through into Q2 at his home Grand Prix, doing a brilliant job, 4 tenths behind Valtteri Bottas, unfortunately. But we'll wait and see as the session progresses. How does his pace improve? Right. We've got 2,000 people tuning in. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you are enjoying the coverage. If you are, then be sure to hit the like button. Really will help out the channel. And then, if you're interested in F1 TV Pro, it's got all of the data, all of the... Oh my god, what's happened here? There's another fire that's just lit spontaneously. And there's a fire again at turn number 7, I think. So this is in the break between the sessions. As you can see, double yellow flag. And there's a fire again at turn number 7. The marshals put it out using a fire extinguisher, but somehow 3-4 hours later, it's just relit itself. So don't know exactly how that is happening. How is there just a fire out of just burnt grass? Does not make any sense to me, really. But yeah, interesting. But they'll clear that up between the Q1 and Q2 sessions, and we'll be racing, qualifying as normal. Yeah, there is a fire on the grass again. Very strange situation, really. Oh, they've said the start of qualifying 2 will be delayed. I mean, they just need a fire extinguisher out there. I don't know why they're delaying the start of Q2. I'm sure it'll be delayed by like 2, 3, 4 minutes. Um, Nothing too much. Ooh, Logan Sargent making his way over turn number 14 in a quite a haphazard manner, just going all over the curbs here, losing out quite a bit of time there. So, yeah. Yeah, it's raining as well. It's raining and it set itself on fire. It's not like, it's in the middle of the Australian desert where it's really hot and then there's been a sort of a wildfire or something. But um yeah, like it's just set on fire while it's raining. It's very strange. Um I'm sure they'll investigate that soon enough, but nothing as of now. All right. So yeah, that has been SQ1. Also, I don't think, guys, I will be qualify. I will be commentating the sprint race tomorrow. The timing of the sprint race is, like I'll have to get up at 3:33 a.m. in the UK, and unfortunately, I have exams to study for, and getting up at 3 a.m. is gonna basically ruin my schedule. So I think I probably won't be commentating at 3 a.m. for the sprint race, unfortunately. I will be doing normal qualifying, which will be taking place at, I think, around about the same time as now. So yeah, unfortunately, uh, um, yeah, unfortunately can't make that time. When will Q2 start? Q2 will begin in. Well, we haven't actually got any official information from race control. It would have started like around about now, but race control have sent a message saying that it will be delayed because of that fire. So who knows? I've got GCSEs to revise for, but I'll be watching it. Yeah, well, you should probably be revising for your GCSEs. I mean, I don't know how much do they matter in the real world, but oh well. You've got exams, might as well revise a bit. I think the spontaneous fires on the track is a Confucius meme of tire degradation. Maybe. Because turn number 7, a very high speed corner, you could. I mean, this is total. Like, I'm just making this up on the spot here, but the drivers, their tires are around about 100 degrees Celsius, so they are very hot. Like, the tires themselves are very hot. And if you have pieces of rubber coming off the tire and going onto the grass, they could set on fire. But that is the most improbable thing that ever happens. And if it was to happen, why does it not happen at any other circuit? Why does it only happen at this, you know? Yeah, the marshal having a smoke. I mean, the piece of grass is pretty far away from any of the marshals. Like, it's just right next to the apex of the corner. So yeah, very strange. And still nothing from the FIA being like, oh, the session's going to restart in 2 minutes' time. Um, I don't know how long it's taken for them to put out a fire, but the more that it gets delayed, the more rain that we get, and the more exciting the session is made. So there we go. SQ, yeah, qualifying's going to start in 4 minutes time, guys. So it's probably been delayed by 3-4 minutes, but it's going to start in 4 minutes. Yeah. Right. Okie dokes. Yep, it's been cleared up now, and starting now in 3 minutes time. Oh right, alrighty. Um, Track preparation is key. They had like 4 years to improve the track. Yeah, I mean the track layout is pretty good. They haven't had any sort of issues with drain covers or anything like that, which is nice. And then, but yeah, track set on fire. One of the strangest things that I've ever seen, really. Um, at the Canadian Grand Prix, you have like this bear or something that's always on the circuit. Well, not always, but like and then they've seen a lizard on the circuit at the Singapore Grand Prix, but yeah, a fire spontaneously coming out of nowhere, that is pretty odd. Dude, I've got sport in a few minutes. Going to be listening to in my pocket. Well, appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah, go and play some sport in the terrible British weather. I don't know where you are in the UK, but I'm sure it's cloudy. All right, 10 minutes for this session. So 15 drivers will be out. Well, 15 drivers will be taking part, and only 10 minutes. So the drivers can get in 2 laps if they're really quick. So they have to leave as soon as possible, get out, do 1 lap, come back in, refuel, new tires, and then go out, do it again. Yeah. 2 minutes now till we get underway for the SQ2. Let me know what your predictions are. Who do you think is going to get eliminated? I mean, looking at the eliminations right now, Hamilton, Russell would have been eliminated if it wasn't for, if it was Q2 in that position. So are those the 2 slowest drivers? Did they get caught out by the rain? Who knows? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I think the Saubers will probably get eliminated. Danny Rick will also get eliminated. I don't know though. Maybe the Hasses instead of the Mercs. Um, yeah, I don't know how Haas are that quick compared to the Mercedes. Out in Q2, Hulk, Hamilton, Magnussen, Ricardo, and Joe. Yeah, I mean, Bottas could make it through. Bottas, quite a quick driver here. Um, who knows? Who knows? All right. Um, Sprint qualifying 2 should be underway now. Well, it should be underway. I think my clock's just slightly off, actually. It'll be getting underway in a few minutes now. Why is there a yellow flag? There is no longer a yellow flag. Stroll. Stroll could definitely get eliminated. There we go. Green light at the end of the pit lane, and we'll have the drivers exiting. Good luck on your exams, by the way. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to need it, really. um, but yeah, is the rain stopped for Q2? No, the rain has been falling. It's still just been falling very, very lightly. But nevertheless, rain has still been falling, and it's going to affect the session. Not exactly sure by how much, but yeah. What are you studying for your exams? I'm studying engineering, so just yeah, engineering exams. Maybe get an internship at an F1 team. That would be pretty cool. Since I am in the UK and quite a lot of F1, well, all of the F1 teams are based in the UK. Um, that'd be pretty cool. No, not my GCSEs. Did those a while ago. Right, everyone out on the medium tires once again, as the rules do mandate. And then, yeah, don't stress too much about exams when you can say to an employee you can hold the attention of 2,000 people. Very marketable and rare skill. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it's a very good skill actually. Definitely have got it on my CV. Um, but what was I going to say? Yeah, I mean, quite a lot of you here. Like, if I was just randomly talking about anything rather than F1, then I'm sure there wouldn't be 2,000 people of you watching this. But you know, you're usually talking about some sort of topic, so fair enough. Here we go then. The McLaren's first drivers to get underway on their flying laps. Let's follow Lando Norris through then. Makes his way past Sergio Perez. Perez makes his way, gets out of the way nicely, so there isn't too much issue there. And now heading towards turn number 6, right on the edge of the circuit. They're braking at the 70-meter mark. I think that's 30 meters or so later than they braked in 2019. So with these cars, brakes getting better aero, and the drivers can brake later and later. Now towards turn number 9 he goes and has a very good exit there. And if he times this correctly, he's going to get a nice toe here off Max Verstappen, which would be fantastic, I must say. Verstappen backs out early. Verstappen's like, I'm not giving you a toe, Lando. No, thank you. And fair enough, actually. Here comes Piastri now. Piastri might get a toe off Perez, but I think the distance is a little bit too big. Yeah, this is the one thing to keep in mind, though. If the drivers can get a toe down the back straight, it is absolutely incredible for lap time. Like, just, yeah, amazing. You gain like 3/10 for absolutely free by just getting a slipstream down the back straight. But here comes Lando Norris now, a 1:36.0, a very quick lap there from Lando Norris. Let's see what Oscar Piastri, his teammate, can do. Coming out the final corner now. Oscar Piastri, a 1:35.8, and look at that, in the third sector alone, he was 5/10 quicker than Lando Norris. 5/10 quicker in the middle sector, in the final sector, because he got a toe off Sergio Perez. So I underestimated it and I said 3/10. Yeah, he gained 5/10 of a second. That is ridiculous. The amount of pace that he got from that toe. And Oscar Piastri, that might so in Q3, the toe is going to be pretty important if you can sort that out. Fernando Alonso, fastest in the first sector, comes across the line in fourth position. Nico Hulkenberg in sixth goes basically within 5 milliseconds of Kevin Magnussen. So both Haas drivers very close to each other. Charles Leclerc across the line. He goes 1/10 quicker than Oscar Piastri. And we've got Danny Rick in ninth position. Good job from him. Valtteri Bottas up in fifth place. Wow, really good job from him. I mean, I was expecting the Saubers to get knocked out here. To be fair, we've still got quite a few drivers to set their laps, so I'll speak at the end. But Hamilton across the line in seventh position. Bottas quicker than Hamilton, and Bottas is in a Sauber. I mean, Bottas. I think Sauber have brought a couple of upgrades this weekend, but they are really working out well here. And Bottas quicker than both Mercedes. Then we've got Max Verstappen across the line, only a tenth quicker than Leclerc this time. So that's good. Good to see. We've got some competition here, and then Sergio Perez across the line in third position after getting what looks like an absolutely massive toe. He was 4/10 of a second quicker in the final sector compared to Verstappen, but still ends up 2/10 behind him in terms of the actual lap time. So yeah, quite interesting, quite interesting. But I am talking about the toe a lot more than I usually do, just mainly because this back straight is enormous. I think it's nearly the same length. Like if you count turn number 12, because the drivers are just flat through. Once they exit 12, they're just flat through 13, all the way down to turn number 14. That section, if you count all of that, it's about the same length as the straight in Baku, or just slightly shorter. It's like the second or third longest straight on the entire calendar. So yeah, the toe, very, very critical. As we say in Baku, getting a toe down there, very important. The same as you would say in Spa as well, down the Camel Straight. So whichever team can manage to get out a nice toe would be brilliant. It could be different setups, but usually you wouldn't see 4/10 of a pace difference in down the straight because of just a setup at the same circuit. Of course, of course, if you put on the Monza setup here, they will be going 4/10 quicker down the straights, but the Monza setup is going to be so slow through the corners, it would not be competitive. Everyone's bringing small upgrades till now, except the Mercs. Yeah, that's the thing. I think Merc did bring one small upgrade package, but the problem with having upgrades now, like McLaren, I think they have some upgrades ready, but because it's sprint races, so you've got this weekend is a sprint race, and in 2 weekends' time, the Miami Grand Prix is also a sprint race. They only have one practice session, and they can't gather enough data on an upgrade to say, is this good, is this bad? So since they can't gather enough data to say if it's good or if it's bad, they just delay the upgrades until after the sprint weekend. So the race in Imola will be the first one where everyone will bring their upgrades. We're gonna have a whole lot of upgrades for Imola. Yeah. Hello, MCG. Nice to see that you are here. We've had quite the exciting qualifying session, and it's just been declared by the FIA that it is a wet track. There has been a change in climatic conditions, and the track surface is slippery at quite a few different parts of the circuit. So it is looking good. We could have a wet Q3. That would be fantastic to see. Ooh. Right. Yeah. What was I going to say? Yeah, it's just raining really, and the drivers are not going to improve, unfortunately. So the current drivers that are in the elimination zone are George Russell, who's getting eliminated. Big surprise there. Then we've got K-Mag and Hulkenberg, which is unexpected. Well, kind of expected, really. And then Daniel Ricciardo, and then Lance Stroll, who had a bit of a bad lap, I think. So that's why he's getting knocked out. But yeah, not great, really. And you can see, like, it is definitely raining. Like, you can see raindrops on the visors. And if we have maybe 2, 3, 4 minutes till we get Q3 underway, the drivers may have to go out on inters. Like, this is going to be pretty exciting. But I do have to give big props here to the two Saubers. Both of them have made it through. Guan Yu Zhou at his home Grand Prix, making it through into Q3. The Chinese fans are very happy. And are cheering as he goes into the pits. Um, but that has been, yeah, that's been Q2, and we are going to get now we're going to get Q3 shortly. Okie dokes. We've got 2,500 viewers. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Be sure to hit the like button. Definitely does help out the channel. Hopefully we can get 500 likes. We're currently halfway there. Yeah. Right. The other thing to note will be Q3 will be only 8 minutes time. So the drivers have just enough time to do 2 laps. Like they leave as soon as possible out on the inters, potentially on the slicks. I'm not sure. But this is quite critical here. If the drivers can pick the right tires and maybe pick the right tires. Like, is it the soft tires or is it the intermediate tires? If they can figure that out, then we could see a little mix up in the grid positions today. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is yeah, it is definitely raining pretty hard. It is definitely affecting grip conditions. Hamilton locking up his outside tire. Normally you lock up your inside tire. But Hamilton locked up his outside tire um, going into a couple of these corners. So yeah, this is great to see. Great to see the rain coming and making everything exciting. All right, let me know what your predictions are. Who do you think is going to get pole position? There's only a tenth between Leclerc and Verstappen, and seeing as you can gain 5 tenths of a second um, from a slipstream down the back straight, you could theoretically, you could get Charles Leclerc on pole position. If he can get a nice toe and Max Verstappen can't, we could get a brilliant lap here. Is the rain going to continue to the Grand Prix? Well, the Grand Prix is tomorrow. The Grand Prix is on Sunday, but the sprint race is tomorrow, and that will. Well, I can't predict the weather. I haven't checked the weather really, but I think it was going to just be pretty standard weather, like just clouds and a bit of sunshine. So, why do you talk so slow? Please talk so fast. Well, I guess I'll talk quickly then. Currently, there isn't that much going on, so I haven't got that much to say really. Uh, yeah. First time Inters in 2024 qualifying? Yeah, well, we could see Inters. We don't know yet. And currently, I've got an ad break playing on my F1 feed, so I don't know if it's raining or not, which is amazing. But yeah, if it can rain, if it's raining, if the rain is still going, which it probably will be, we will most likely have quite a bit of action going on and potentially Inters. We don't know yet. Don't know. Hello, C Paul. Nice to see you're back. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we've got qualifying 3 for the sprint race starting in 3 minutes time. Um, but yeah. have them out quick in another 15 minutes. Very heavy rain. Well, that is that is always good news. Heavy rain is good news in my books. Um, uh, yeah, yeah. I like the older format of quali than the sprint race and then the Grand Prix, like in 2021. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different formats. Like the thing with this is that you have two qualifying sessions and two races, whereas in the previous one you had one quali and then two races. So it's even in, I think maybe even in my perspective as well, like as a commentator, like commentating over two qualifying sessions which are going to be basically the exact same thing, like do I really want to do that? um Probably not. So yeah. Right. So it'll be 1 minute now till we get underway for the for Q3. So just hang in there till we get underway now. Okie dokes. DRS has been disabled, so that's one other thing. When DRS does get disabled, it's pretty, that's sort of like the cutoff point. Like at least in the F1 games, the way that they work it out is, well, not the way that they work it out, but the way that the drive, like if you're driving in the F1 games and you get a message from race control being like DRS has been disabled, that's kind of your warning. It's like, right, the rain has arrived. It's time to switch on to intermediate tires. So with the session's going to get underway in about 30-40 seconds now. Um, we should have yeah, we should have a pretty exciting session to watch. There we go, green light at the end of the pit lane. And the drivers are making their way out. Oscar Piastri, first driver out, and what tyres is he on? Intermediate tyres it is for Oscar Piastri. Great to see. Um, Here we go. Everyone is coming out on intermediate tyres. Everyone is coming out as soon as possible, um, to make sure that they actually get a lap in. Yeah, this is great. This is great. Right. Yeah, apologies for the slight lack of commentary here. Um, it's raining. Everyone's just making their way out, trying to get the racing line as clean as possible in terms of getting as little standing water on the racing line. That would be ideal, for the drivers, and then yeah, just making their way out onto the circuit now. Driving very slowly, making sure to go over the curbs a little bit, experiment, find out like information on, is this curb slippery? Is it not? Can I drive over it? And the answer will most likely be yes. Lando Norris, even on his outlap, has managed to go outside track limits and mess up his braking. So it's going to be pretty tricky here. And the rain has definitely started to come down pretty heavily, um, which is yeah, just all the more exciting. Oh, we've got one of the Ferraris out onto the... Charles Leclerc has crashed on his outlap. Well, not crashed, he's not crashed. He's gone off into the gravel. He's recovered, but he went out onto the gravel on his outlap. So here we go, Oscar Piastri. Well, just a replay from Charles Leclerc. He loses the rear of the car going through turn number 8. And that is what causes him to... Yeah, he loses the rear of the car. The car just spins out. He recovers it, no damage for him. But, oh no, sorry, his front wing, like, taps the... his front wing has tapped the barriers, but I think it is fine. I'm not sure. We'll wait and see. Leclerc goes into the pits. It's obviously not fine. All right, let's keep an eye. Look at this. Oscar Piastri is quicker than Verstappen in the first sector. Oh my God, this is great to see. This is great to see. All right, so this is all down to the driver now. There's basically nothing in the car that can really... It's all down to the drivers adapting to these changing conditions. And with Lando Norris now quicker than Verstappen in the first sector as well, this is shaping up to be a brilliant qualifying session. Indeed, the rain is the great equalizer. And oh my God, that is a massive snap of oversteer here for Lando Norris as he comes out of the final corner. He's going to be losing him so much time coming down the straights. But look at this, Lando Norris, purple in the first sector, purple in the second sector. That's just been taken away by Sergio Perez, but nevertheless, that is some serious pace here from Lando Norris. Hits the brakes. Oh, no, sorry. Am I watching Piastri's on board or am I watching Norris's on board? I can't even tell. I think I'm watching Piastri's on board, actually. Yeah, Piastri out of the final corner. Yeah, there we go. What can he do? He comes across the line and sets the benchmark for a 2 minute... I was about to say 1 minute something. A 2 minute, 2 second lap time from Oscar Piastri. Next up is Max Verstappen, 2 minutes and 2 seconds, but he's 2 minutes, 2 seconds and 9/10. Lando Norris up into third position now. Sergio Perez up in first, purple in the second sector, purple in the third sector. Great lap there from Sergio Perez. Let's see what Fernando Alonso can do coming out of the final corner now. It is 2 minutes and 3 seconds there for Fernando Alonso. Unfortunately, a little bit behind the rest of the field. Yeah, wow. It's Sergio Perez that has gone 2 minutes, 2 seconds. He's on 2 seconds quicker than the competition. That is absolutely fantastic. Valtteri Bottas up in second place. Oh my God. What a... Right. Well, this is the thing. 2 minutes left of the session. The drivers barely have enough time to make it back. That is it. There's only one lap, one chance, one opportunity, because with a 2 minute lap and only 8 minutes in the session, the drivers don't have the chance to make it round. So they just have to do 2 hot laps on the fly. Max Verstappen currently on another hot lap here. He is purple in the middle sector. So, but look at this. Lando Norris is purple in the first and the second sectors. And Lando Norris could stick it on pole position today. That would be incredible. Guan Yu Zhou got a lap time deleted for exceeding track limits. And so did Max Verstappen. But we are coming up on the final runs now here. Hamilton has also got a lap time deleted for exceeding track limits. Right. Okay. So Piastri coming across the line now. He is on a hot lap, currently in third position with 2 minutes, 2 seconds as his lap time. He crosses the line, goes 2 minutes, 1 second, goes 1/10 quicker than Valtteri Bottas. Now Max Verstappen is coming across the line. Green in the first sector, green in the second sector. Across the line, only 4th position for Max Verstappen. Now we've got Carlos Sainz. He comes across the line. That is 5th position for him. Norris across the line in 2nd place. Sergio Perez, who's currently on provisional pole with 1 minute left on the clock. And Verstappen has got his lap time deleted again. Verstappen has just got his personal best lap time deleted for exceeding track limits. Alonso improves, but not enough to gain any positions. Oh no, Alonso's up into first. Alonso's on pole. Oh my God. how's he just done that? He's gone 1/10 quicker than Sergio Perez, and he's stuck it on pole position. This is right. Next up across the line, we've got Guan Yu Zhou. What can he do? He's seventh position for Guan Yu Zhou, 5 seconds off the pace. Fair enough. I mean, it's first time racing in the rain. And then we've got Charles Leclerc up in third position. Great lap from Charles Leclerc. I just hope Alonso's lap does not get deleted for track limits. Lando Norris's lap has just been deleted for track limits. So as long as Fernando Alonso's lap is not deleted for track limits, that is going to be fantastic. Hamilton now on his way to the final corner. He's got 2 green sectors as of now. And he comes out of the final corner, and Hamilton puts it on pole. Hamilton puts it on a 1:59.3 for Lewis Hamilton. That is absolutely brilliant, but we've still got time to go. Hamilton cleans up, puts in a very good lap indeed. I mean, I must say, like, a second quicker than everyone else. That's like a lot of Perez's lap from a couple of minutes ago. But Oscar Piastri now currently in fifth. He crosses the line, improves, but not enough improvement there. Max Verstappen currently in 10th position after getting 2 lap times deleted. Crosses the line, only second position for Max Verstappen here. I think what he was probably told over the radio, if you haven't got, don't exceed track limits, whatever you do. Lando Norris comes across the line for provisional pole. Next up is Sergio Perez. What can he do? He crosses the line, stays in 6th position. Fernando Alonso is coming across the line again. He's had a yellow first sector, a green middle sector, and Norris has got his lap time deleted. Alonso's up into second, and Lando Norris, who put it on provisional pole, has now just got his lap time deleted. And then we have, I think it's now just Guan Yu Zhou, Charles Leclerc and Valtteri Bottas left now. So Guan Yu Zhou currently in 10th position. He's improved in his first and second sector. He comes across the line, and 10th position, unfortunately for him. Leclerc across the line, he does not improve. And then we have got Valtteri Bottas coming across the line, also does not gain any positions. So Lewis Hamilton has gone and got pole position here with Fernando Alonso in second place and Max Verstappen in third. Lando Norris would have been on pole position if his lap time didn't get deleted. And Hamilton now coming across the line again. Once again, it is 1 minute 59.2. Lando Norris's lap time has been put back in. Lando Norris's lap time has been reinstated. They have, apparently he didn't exceed track limits, and they've put it back up to the top, and Norris has got pole. I don't know why they've just reinstated this, but what? Okay. So I'd just like to confirm the message from race control. Car number 4, which is Lando Norris's car, time number 1:57.94 will be reinstated. So Lando Norris has just been put back onto pole position, and Hamilton has got his pole taken away from him. Alonso's in third place, Verstappen in fourth, and Sainz in fifth. 5 different drivers in the top 5, and somewhere, for some whatever reason, Lando Norris's lap time has been undeleted, and it's been put up into first position. Wow. His first pole since 2021 Sochi. Yeah, and I think 2021 Sochi, he obviously lost out because of the rain, but I must say, a brilliant lap from Lando Norris. A 1:57. That's 2 seconds quicker than Lewis Hamilton. Wow. A very, very interesting qualifying session. This is crazy. Yeah, what a qualifying session. I mean, the rain has arrived and made everything so much more exciting. Max Verstappen, so just to summarize what happened, Max Verstappen got 2 lap times deleted, then finally on his third attempt, after the team probably told him, you've got 2 lap times deleted, time to stay within track limits and actually get a lap time, Max Verstappen probably drove a little bit under his maximum performance and got 4th position there. after getting 2 lap times deleted, which is, of course, down to his mistakes. Alonso set a brilliant lap, and was a 1:59. Was his quickest time. He was at one point on pole position, but that got taken away by Hamilton, and then Lando Norris's got taken away, and then put back again. Lando Norris on pole position, and then his lap time gets deleted, and then they undelete his lap time. I mean, wow. I'm going to check the weather for tomorrow. What is it? It's Shanghai, isn't it? So Shanghai weather. Shanghai weather. Let's have a look. Right. Unfortunately, guys, it is completely sunny tomorrow. There is no chance of rain whatsoever. Yeah, no chance of rain. But Lando Norris has just got a pole position. Wow. Wow. Apologies for the slightly messy commentary today. I really haven't been totally on it. And yeah, there was so much going on. It was, and yeah. Oh well. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Really do appreciate it. And I will be streaming for tomorrow's. I will not be streaming the sprint race tomorrow, unfortunately, because the timings just don't line up, and I've got exams to study for, and me waking up in the middle of the night to commentate is really not going to help towards me doing well in exams. But I will be doing the sprint. I'll be doing the normal qualifying, so it's around about the same time as now. I think maybe an hour. Starts at 8 o'clock. I think UK time. I'm not sure, but I will be doing the qualifying, and then for the race on Sunday as well, I'll be doing the race as usual. The thing that I will be missing will be the sprint race, which is tomorrow 3 a.m. UK time or something like that, 4 a.m. Okay, so that has been it, and I will see you tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. And I really do recommend that you guys watch the highlights to today's qualifying session because wow. But that has been it. Have a wonderful morning, day, afternoon, evening, or night, depending on where you are in the world. And I will see you see you tomorrow. Cheers, fellas.